Right, Paul. So looking at seventh chords here last time. So first of all, I'm going to go through the Parisian Walkways chord progression, and as I was saying, it's kind of it's Autumn Leaves as well. Fly Me to the Moon has pretty much the same chord progression too. So it's kind of one of those classic chord progressions. So we're starting off with an A minor, or for the sake of the sevens, we'll go with an A minor seven. So we've got A minor seven. So a minor seven chord is when you got a minor chord and a note two semitones below the eighth, so a low seven. Okay, so that's, you've got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's your eighth, an A note in the A chord, and then we're taking that down by 1, 2 for an A minor 7. An A minor major 7, let's say, would be taking it down only by 1. So you get that kind of strange, kind of murder mystery, James Bond, I suppose, kind of vibe out of it there. So they're pretty unusual, obviously, given the way they sound. But it's still worth knowing anyway, just for the sake of the theory of it, just so in terms of how it all goes together. So anyway, A minor 7, D minor 7. So there's D minor. There's the eighth. There's the D note in the D chord, taking that down by 2. There's D minor 7. D minor 7 over G, or D minor 7 with G in the bass. You'd write it down D minor 7 / G. Now, we actually want to block the A note here. It's very important. You don't want to have those two A notes kind of cluttering each other. So that one's pretty simple. You can use a little finger if you want. C major 7. Right? So it's C major 7 because we're taking this C note here. There's the eighth, only taking it down by 1. Now let's say if you wanted a C7, you'd need to take that down by 2. Of course, we're already on an open string here, right? So we'll take this C note, this eighth, put it here, and take that down by 2. Put this back on because you don't want to have two different sevenths in the same chord, generally. And there's C7. Anyway, but the real thing is a C major 7. F major 7. There's F. And the note here, E string held on the first fret by the bar, that's the eighth. Well, it's one of the notes you could call the eighth anyway. We'll take that, open it up. And as I was saying, if you want the chord just to be a little bit thicker than that, you can get the thumb, hold down the sixth string on the first fret. You've got an F note in the bass then. But the thing that's making it the seventh here is the fact that the E string is open, so you've got an E note in the F chord. B minor 7 flat 5. So this is one of my favorite chord types. So then this one, as I said, it just the name tells you how to play it, right? So it's a B minor 7, B minor 7 flat 5. Now that's another fifth as well. So this is why it's important to kind of know with any given chord what the structure of it is. So what notes are all of these in terms of, first, third, and fifth, right? So you've got your bass note there, second fret on the A string, that's a B note, that's the first. This one here, down a string and up 2 frets. That's pretty much assuming, apart from the fact that the G and B string have a different relationship to each other, that's always a fifth. So if we go 1 in the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got first, fifth, and eighth there. So if we left that there, that'll be a fifth chord, or a power chord as they're called. Now we know this is the third because if I were to bring it up one, that'll give us a B major, right? So remember, it's always the third that decides whether it's major or minor. And then finally, we've got this note here. So we could call, it's a B minor chord. This is a B note. So if we go up the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's a fifth. So that needs to be brought down as well if it's going to be a flat fifth chord. So going back to how this is played in context, we're coming at it from an F minor, or F major 7, I should say. Going to pivot around, first finger, second fret on the A string, second finger, 2nd fret on the G string for your that's your minor 7th. 3rd finger, 3rd fret on the D string. There's that flat 5th. Minor 3rd here with the little finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Now, you can just leave it at that. You can just use the 4 open strings. Or sorry, the 4 middle strings, okay? That's perfectly fine. Now, if you want to get that extra 5th, what you can do is hold down your 1st finger, keep that there on the 2nd fret of the A string, but bring it back to the 1st fret on the 1st string. Now, but in this particular case, while it's a B, you can actually just leave it open. Now, you're putting a 4th into the chord, so that is kind of technically changing the chord into something else, but that sounds fine. Okay, but anyway, there's your half diminished 7 chord. That's another name for it, half diminished 7, but minor 7 flat 5 kind of just tells you what how the chord actually works, so we'll go with that. Then E7, there's E, there's an 8th. You can take that down by 2, give you E7, or you can take this as your 8th, put it here, take that down by 2 frets, and leave that in. Now, and you can have 2 different 7ths, 2 7ths on different octaves in the chord as well. Like now with C major 7 here, you can have the major and the high and the low 7 in the same chord, because that's what you end up with. It doesn't really make any sense. But you can have a minor 7 on 2 different octaves if you want, or a major 7 on 2 different octaves if you want, as long as it's the same 7th. So here you could have this open D here and also this D note here as well for E7. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so other than that then, just a couple of different shapes. So you've got D major here, there's D major 7. And to get other major 7 chords, you can just hold that down with the 3rd finger. So there's E major 7. Another good one to take up the fretboard is the 2 A shapes, right? So you've got A major 7, which is nice and mobile. And of course as well, you've got A7. And one more then, E minor 7. So you got E minor here. E minor 7. Now, for example, one way you could do an E minor 7 is take that as your E, your 8th, and then bring that down by 2. Now the problem, that's fine, it is technically an E minor 7, but it's a bit nondescript, it's a bit muddy, so I think it's better to have this 7th up here. You know, texture, just getting the right chord is one thing, but you do want it to have the right texture as well. For example, like I was saying, I've never been a fan of this way of playing G7. I just don't like how that 7th kind of sticks up like that for whatever reason. That's just me. So what I'll often do is I'll take this E7 shape up here. That sounds a bit better to me. Or I might just throw on this 7th as well. Okay, so hopefully that'll just give some insight on how to look at the chords you already know and know what the different parts of it are and being able to change it from there, right? So for example, if you take this one, there's a D major, right, in the form of an A shape. So if you've got that A major shape up here, there's a 1st, there's the 5th, 8th, which is also the 1st really, major 3rd, and then 5th. So just knowing that and then saying, well, I could get a sus4 then. If I know that this is the 3rd, I could get a sus4 by raising this one up here. Here's the 8th. So if I want a major 7, I'll take that down by 1. There's D major 7. If I want a 7 chord, I'll take that 8 down by 2, and so on. So knowing the chords in that kind of way will allow you to kind of modify them like that. And 7ths is only the beginning as well. We barely even gotten onto the 9ths yet or anything like that. So, but once you know the structure of the chords, this all follows, you know what I mean? It's not a case of learning it off all, you know, a whole bunch of individual shapes one by one. It's just learning the different components of the basic chords and learning how to change them from there. Right, we'll leave it at that then. Have a good one.